Hi again. Let me adjust this a little bit. Okay. This, as you see, is about gossip, and it does have a couple of places in the Bible, and I'll read it out. And oh yeah, by the way, I made this little card. So see gossip in Romans 1:29 and 2 Corinthians 12:20. And gossip, well, on the card it's all like, did you hear she's doing blah blah blah, or how are you, and the person goes fine, and then starts talking about somebody else, like Susan is doing whatever, and my neighbor is having a, and then you can fill in the blanks, with some personal issue, or whoever it is says is at it again, whoever the name, you can fill in and then you fill in the personal issue, but it's like talking about everybody else but yourself, right? Gossiping about who's doing what and where. And even if it's not negative gossip, negative stuff, it's still talking about other people constantly. Here's, I'm going to read one part, 2 Corinthians, I've got it handy here. It says, for I am, and this is John writing to the Corinthians, says, for I am afraid that when I come, I may not find you as I want you to be, and you may not find me as you want me to be. I fear that there may be quarreling, jealousy, outburst, anger, factions, slander, and gossip is part of that list. And it says arrogance and disorder and, all kinds of bad things. But gossip is definitely mentioned in part of that. And then you go over to 2 Corinthians 12:20, and it's the same thing. It says, we have become, and Romans, that was right. Okay, you go over to Romans 1:29, and it says, they have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, and, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They are senseless, faithless, heartless, ruthless. So it's talking about gossiping is one of them that's mentioned, is very bad. It's like somebody comes and asks you how you doing, you're visiting with somebody, and this really upsets me because when you're speaking, you want to hear about that person, themselves, and you want to share what each other's lives are and what you're doing. You don't necessarily want to talk about other people. But so you start, asking, like, how are you? And you really mean it. And then they go, oh, fine, I'm fine. And then they start going, so-and-so's doing such. Did you hear so-and-so about, what she's up to again? Oh, no, she's, or it's so-and-so's getting, say, a hysterectomy, or my friend. And even in the churches, I found that every church I've gone to, it's become a gossip hall. And they say, they know it's in the Bible, but it's like they avoid talking about it, because, like, focusing on it, because it takes away the fact that they can't talk about other people, who's doing what. And it's like, you're afraid to say something to somebody that goes to the same church, because they're going to end up spreading it to somebody else, and she's doing this, and now you can be assured, this is the thing that gets me, you can be like assured, probably 95 to 100%, that if they're talking to you about somebody else's personal business. They're sharing with you somebody else's personal business or what somebody else is doing. Guess what? They're doing that same thing with you. They're spreading whatever it is you tell them about yourself. They are yapping to somebody else about stuff you told them. It's very annoying. It's not nice at all. It's actually under a sin. But it deserved, I figure, this topic deserved, and a lot of people don't want to take on this topic, but I am, because it deserves its own video, it deserves its own space, because it's something that's really not good, and a lot of people are doing it, and they think, and the ones that are going to churches, they think, oh, I'm so great, you know, and I don't know, no, I don't gossip. Meanwhile, they kind of forget that they're sitting there having a cup of tea with their friend, and they're talking about somebody else. Personal issues. They're talking about so-and-so's pregnant again, so-and-so's, it's so a shame, it's such a shame, poor girl, or so-and-so's getting beat up, or whatever, like, there's, you know, having abuse issues, and oh, her husband is so horrible to her, and blah 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 about everybody else but themselves. They don't tell you much about themselves, what's been going on in their personal life, in their personal journey, but they're really busy yapping about everybody else's journey, and everybody else, what they know about everybody else, like, you know, and want to bring you up to date to who's doing what. And I'm sitting there going like, yeah, right, so, like, I don't really want to hear about this person, and a lot of times, I find that they talk to you about people, especially the older generation, older than me, they talk to you about people that you have no idea. You don't know these people. You have no clue who these people are, but they tell you all about them. It's like, excuse me, I have no idea, no clue who this person is. Why are you talking to me about this person's business when I don't know who this person is? You know, like, it makes no, who this person is at your church or whatever. I have no clue, you know, and they're sitting there gossiping about this person's personal business, which no doubt they were told in confidence. Like, everybody's forgetting what confidence means. When you're told something in confidence, you're not supposed to be telling everybody else about it. That means you're supposed to zip up and, like, it's just between you and them, and you say nothing to nobody. You don't just say nothing to somebody they know, you say nothing to nobody else. It's like zip, confidence, you know, trust. And it really upsets me when people break trust of people that given them information that they shouldn't be spreading to anybody else. So, it's a subject that really gets me upset, peeved off, to be polite about it. It really, you know, it's like, I want to tell them to shut up, you know, like, shut up. You're not talking to me about yourself. You're talking to me about somebody I don't know. Like, shut up, or you know, you're making assumptions about this other person. Shut up. You know, like, if you're telling me all this, you are most likely telling my stuff to somebody else. So I'm not telling you anything else about me. You know, yeah, so it really upsets me, and I thought it deserved a special notice, but I haven't found anywhere else. If anybody can find anywhere else, I mean, my concordance, my study, only gave me those 2 spots about gossip. If anybody else can find anywhere else where it mentions that gossip, or a word that means